It's me, Blippi! And look at what I have! Whoa! This is a lot of tools. I am so excited to use these tools today with you. But first, we need to shut the workshop garage door. Check this out! Oh, this is a chain. Whoa! Sounds cool. You can make music with it. Okay, anywho, you pull one side down and then it shuts the door. All right. There we go. Whoa. All right, back to the cool stuff. The tools. In this video, I am gonna use these tools. And yep, they are real tools. Like this handsaw. Or this cordless drill. But I'm gonna use all safety precautions that should be used at all times. And also, just because you're a wee young, you shouldn't use real tools. But what you can use are toy tools, like this hammer, ooh, pair of pliers, ooh, like this saw. But for this video, I, Blippi, am gonna use real tools with all safety gear on and safety precautions because I'm a grown-up and only grown-ups should use real tools. So first, let's listen to the Blippi Tool song. Ah!
When you're working with tools, you hear all kinds of things. When you're working with tools, you hear all kinds of things. The wrench tightens pipes going clang, clang. A hammer hits a nail going bang, bang, bang. A drill is making holes going zzz, zzz. When you're working with tools, you hear all kinds of things. When you're working with tools, you hear all kinds of things. When you're working with tools, you hear all kinds of things. You hear thuds and squeaks, cracks and rings. When you're working with tools, you hear all kinds of things. You hear bangs and booms, clangs and zings. When you're working with tools, you hear all kinds of things. Cutting wires with some pliers going snip, snip. Cutting paper with some scissors going clip, clip. When you're working with tools, you've got to be real safe by wearing gloves on your hands and goggles on your face. And boys and girls, when you're working with tools, always follow mom and dad's safety rules. When you're working with tools, you hear all kinds of things. When you're working with tools, you hear all kinds of things. You hear thuds and squeaks, cracks and rings. When you're working with tools, you hear all kinds of things. You hear bangs and booms, clangs and zings. When you're working with tools, you hear all kinds of things.
Whoa! So many tools to choose from. But first, we need our safety gear on. And what's really important are safety glasses. Yeah, so what they do is help protect your eyes. See? Nothing's hurting my eyes. Awesome. Okay, so we'll have those on. And then what we need to put on are safety gloves. So let's put one glove on, and then let's put another glove on. So that makes 1, 2 gloves. And you have to clap. Oh! Okay, and another set of safety gear is my earmuffs. We'll put these on later when we're ready for them. Okay, so now let's make sure we're nice and organized, because you can't be unorganized when you're doing hard work like this. So let's bring this right over here. Whoa! Okay, let's put this right here. And then, now let me show you what we're gonna do. We're gonna take this piece of wood right here. See how tall it is? Whoa, it's about up to my chest. And we need to cut this into a smaller piece. Whoa! See how big that piece of wood is? Whoa! All right, so let's set this piece of wood down right here. All right, and then we need to go get some tools. Do you know what tool to use to cut a piece of wood? Is it this? No, this is a broom and a dustpan. That's for cleanup time. Okay, let's see. Is it this tool right over here? No, this is a hammer. You hammer in nails with a hammer. That can't cut a piece of wood. Yeah, a saw. This is a hand saw, and this is what we're gonna use to cut a piece of wood. So let's put it right over here. Okay, and then, do you see this? Whoa, there's a cable attached to it. Do you know what that means? Yeah, it doesn't work right now because it doesn't have power. So we need to attach some power to it. All right. What over here can pull power? Is it this? This is a cordless drill. It gets power from its battery, see? But it can't provide power to this saw. Yeah, you're right. Good job. This is an extension cable. We plug this into the wall and then the saw into this, and then it'll have power. Let's plug it in. Look at this right here. This is where you plug it into. Let's plug it in. Yeah, I did it! All right, so now we need to find the other end. Whoa! Here it is. Let's go. Let me show you a trick. So we need to plug these two together. But if you just plug them in, it's probably gonna come unplugged at some point. So check this out. Loop, swoop, and then plug. Loop, swoop, and plug. See? Now you can tug on it gently and it won't come unplugged. Perfect. Okay, so now this saw is live. So if you pull the trigger, it goes. So we'll keep this right here for now. And then we need to measure this piece of wood. So let's go over here and locate the tool that we can use to measure. Is it this? No, this is a standard screwdriver. Yeah, it's just screws and screws. Okay, we need something that you can use to measure. Yeah, a measuring tape. Yeah, right here. This is a measuring tape. Check it out. Whoa! Do you see these numbers? Yeah, these are numbers that tell you how short and small and long and big things are. Perfect. All right, let's take a marker, you know what that is, and now let's measure. Okay, all right, here we go. So let's measure this piece of wood. Whoa, it's really big. So let's measure it to I know. 12 inches. Do you see the number 12? Right there, 12. It's 1 after 11 and 1 before 13. Yeah, so let's make a mark. Perfect. And that is 12 inches. Hey, did you know in some places of the world, 12 inches is 1 foot? Yep, so today we're measuring in inches and feet. But in some parts of the world, they measure in centimeters and meters. Okay, all right, let's put these tools back over here. And let's put on our earmuffs. Hello? What did you say? I can't hear you. Okay, anyways, let me get back to work. All right, so here we go. This is where I need to cut that line. And this is the saw I'm gonna use to cut it. And let me remind you again, this is a grown-up tool. And you should not use grown-up tools. But you can use child play tools. Those are really fun. Yeah, those toys are so fun to play with. Okay, but for now, we need to get some work done. So I'm gonna prop this up, line it up, and then when I pull the trigger, it's gonna go. Here we go. Yeah, look. Remember how this piece of wood used to be up to my chest? But now, it's up to my belly button. See? Now it's up to my chest. What? I can't hear you. Okay, let me take these off. All right, so we need this piece of wood. And actually, we need this piece of wood too. We need to screw them together like that. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay, put that right here. While we put this away. So first, let's unplug it. Perfect. All right. Now, when you pull the trigger, nothing happens. So let's wrap up the cable and the cord, and let's stay organized and put it away. And then, let's wrap up the extension cable. All right. Nice and organized. Hello. All right, put that right there. And now, we need to do 2 things. Remember how I said we need to screw in the 2 pieces of wood? So we need a screwdriver or a drill. And then the other thing we're gonna do is hammer in a nail. So we need a hammer and a nail. Let's find those items now. Okay, let's see. A hammer. Let's see. Oh yeah, remember? Yeah, a hammer. This is a hammer. You know what a hammer is. Boop, 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 boop. It hammers in nails. Okay, and let's see. Here's a nail. Perfect. Boop, boop, boop. Let's grab a second nail. Okay, so now I have 2 nails. Put it right over here. And then we need a drill and a screw. Do you see those? Yeah, here it is. Oh, wait a second. This is bolt cutters. This isn't what we need. Okay, what we need, yeah, right here. The drill, the cordless drill. Whoa! And then 2 screws. Perfect. So we have everything we need. So let's move all this stuff back down to here. So we're gonna screw these in together. And then we're gonna nail this on top, okay? So, let's screw it in. First, you take your drill and you start drilling nice and slow. Yep. Perfect. All right. And then here's another one. Perfect. There we go. See? Perfect. They stick together. Whoa. All right. So now what we need to do is put this right here. Do it a little bit further. Okay, so now, to keep this on top, we now need to hammer in 2 nails. Okay, so 1 nail, 2 nails, see? Okay, so let's start with the small one first. See how one's smaller than the other? Yeah, let's start with this one. Put it right there and make sure you don't hit your fingers. Perfect. There's one, and then here's another. Yeah, we did it. Check it out. Yeah. So we have 3 pieces of wood together. See, if I just hold this one, all 3 stayed together. And you know what I'm gonna do with this? Yeah. Oh yeah. This is my new back massager. Yeah. I love building things. Oh, yeah. That's the spot. Yeah, we did such a good job learning about tools today together. And remember, like I said, I used grown-up tools because I am a grown-up. But you should use toy tools and never use grown-up tools, real tools, until you're a grown-up, okay? Will you promise me that? Thank you so much. Well, this is the end of this video. But if you want to watch more of my videos, all you have to do is search for my name. Let's spell my name together, all right? B-L-I-P-P-I, Blippi. Good job. All right, now it's time for cleanup.
Clean up, clean up, clean up your stuff. 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 When you're working with tools, you hear all kinds of things. When you're working with tools, you hear all kinds of things. The wrench tightens pipes going clang, clang. A hammer hits a nail going bang, bang, bang. A drill is making holes going zzz, zzz. When you're working with tools, you hear all kinds of things. When you're working with tools, you hear all kinds of things. When you're working with tools, you hear all kinds of things. You hear thuds and squeaks, cracks and rings. When you're working with tools, you hear all kinds of things. You hear bangs and booms, clangs and zings. When you're working with tools, you hear all kinds of things. Cutting wires with some pliers going snip, snip. Cutting paper with some scissors going clip, clip. When you're working with tools, you've got to be real safe by wearing gloves on your hands and goggles on your face. And boys and girls, when you're working with tools, always follow Mom and Dad's safety rules. When you're working with tools, you hear all kinds of things. When you're working with tools, you hear all kinds of things. You hear thuds and squeaks, cracks and rings. When you're working with tools, you hear all kinds of things. You hear bangs and booms, clangs and zings. When you're working with tools, you hear all kinds of things.
Hey, it's me, Blippi, and I was just playing with this dinosaur toy. Well, I sure do love dinosaurs. Do you like dinosaurs? Yeah, they are so cool. Yeah, and it's so cool how all of them look so different from each other. Yeah, whoa. Yeah, dinosaurs used to roam our planet. You know how we know that? Yeah, because people have found fossils. Yeah, fossils of dinosaurs. Isn't that cool? Yeah, fossils are remains from plants and animals and dinosaurs from such a long time ago. Well, I love dinosaurs. You and I are gonna learn about dinosaurs and maybe we'll find some fossils in this video. Whoa, check it out. Yeah, I have a pail full of sand. Yeah, I found all this sand outside. I think we should use some of our tools to see what's inside the sand and maybe we'll find a fossil. Yeah, okay, the tools that we have here are a magnifying glass. Whoa! Whoa! Okay, that'll help us look at things nice and up close. Ooh, nice little pick. Yeah, pick and a miniature shovel, so then we can shovel up some of the sand. Ooh, and then check this out. Whoa, it's a brush. Yep, so then we can be nice and delicate. We definitely don't want to break up the fossils. All right, let's see, what do we have here? Yeah, bunch of sand. So I think we should take our shovel, our little pick, and then do some picking. Okay. Yeah, we need to break it up. Perfect. Yep, now that we're getting it nice and loose. Oh, yeah, I think I might see something. Do you see that? Oh, yeah, I think we found a fossil. Yeah, it's the color gray. Huh, interesting. Whoa, look. Yeah, archaeologists love to do this. Yeah, they're the ones that uncover a lot of fossils. Maybe you'll be an archaeologist someday. Whoa, check it out. Yeah, we found all these fossils. And then look, right here. Yeah, here's one more. Whoa, need to brush it off. Whoa, check it out. Yeah, it looks like some teeth. Maybe the lower jaw. Whoa, that is so cool. Okay, let me empty this. Have to stay nice and clean and organized. Okay, now let's inspect some of these fossils. Whoa, this one is so cool. This one might even be an insect fossil or something, I don't know. Maybe it's some form of type of dinosaur. I don't know. This could be any part of the dinosaur, but I don't even know. But I know what this is. Yeah! Whoa! This for sure is a fossil. That looks like a rib cage. Do you see it? Yeah! That's a rib cage to a really small dinosaur. Yeah! That's the rib cage. Then the whole dinosaur must have only been about this big. Whoa! Hello! Hey! Okay, what else do we have here? Whoa. Huh, interesting. This one kind of looks like a rock. Who knows? Whoa! Look at this! This looks like an underwater type of dinosaur. Yeah, it's so smooth and shiny. Huh, kinda looks like a shell of some sort. I don't know. Wow, this has been so much fun digging for fossils. Yeah. Whoa, maybe next time you go outside and you find some dirt, yeah, and you have the correct tools, maybe you can dig and maybe you'll find a fossil. Whoa, pretty cool. Whoa. Whoa, I sure do love digging and brushing for fossils. Whoa! Yeah, I love dinosaurs. Do you like dinosaurs? Yeah, they are so cool. Whoa, check out all these dinosaurs. Whoa! Hey, check it out. Do you know what dinosaur this is? Yeah, this looks like a T-Rex. Yeah, Tyrannosaurus Rex. Whoa, what a scary dinosaur. Yeah, this dinosaur eats meat. Yeah, other dinosaurs. Yeah, that is actually called a carnivore. Yeah, if you are a carnivore, you eat meat. Yeah, and a T-Rex is definitely a carnivore because it has really sharp, big teeth. Whoa, check this one out. This is a Brontosaurus. Whoa, what a cute dinosaur. Whoa, look at its long neck. Whoa, its long neck is really good to reach to the top of the tree canopies. And eat a lot of leaves. Yeah, the Brontosaurus is an herbivore. Yeah, if you're a dinosaur and you only eat plants, then you would be an herbivore. Yeah, like a Brontosaurus. T-Rex, carnivore, Brontosaurus, herbivore. Whoa! Well, hey, I think we should listen to the dinosaur song. Yeah!
A long time ago on this planet Earth, before we ever existed, another kind of creature ruled the land, and this is a song for them. Dinosaurs, dinosaurs, oh, I love dinosaurs, 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 prehistoric dinosaurs. Stegosauruses were bigger than elephants, but their brains were the size of a peppermint. Triceratops had 3 horns on their head in case they ever needed to defend. The Brachiosaurus had a really long neck, and at the end was an itty-bitty head. Pterodactyls would soar through the sky. Their wings were enormous in size, and if they stood up straight on the ground, they would be as tall as a giraffe. Dinosaur, dinosaur, oh, I love dinosaurs. Raptors were smart and fast, and like wolves they would hunt in packs. The Elasmosaurus was the king of the deep. He'd swim around in the sea. The Ankylosaurus had a tail like a hammer and a body that was built like a tank. And the Spinosaurus had a spine like a sail, and they looked quite a bit like a crocodile. Oh boy, the Tyrannosaurus Rex, the king of the dinosaurs. They'd roam the land on their big back legs and let out a mighty roar. Dinosaurs, dinosaurs. Oh, I love dinosaurs. Dinosaurs, dinosaurs. Prehistoric dinosaurs.
Whoa! Wasn't that dinosaur song awesome? Yeah! I love dinosaurs! And I love dancing! Didn't that song just make you want to dance? Hey, I have an idea. Why don't you and I pick a dinosaur and let's dance like it? Woohoo! Okay, what dinosaur? Oh, yeah! How about a T-Rex? Yeah, okay, I'll teach you how to dance like a T-Rex. First, you have to put your hands out right here, and they don't have very long arms. So, you just act like you have some claws. Woo! And then, you give it a big roar. Okay, hit that music.
Dinosaur, dinosaur. Oh, I love dinosaurs. Dinosaur, dinosaur. Prehistoric dinosaur.
Whoa, that was so much fun. Dancing like a dinosaur with you. And learning about dinosaurs with you in this video. But this is the end of this video. But if you want to watch more of my videos, all you have to do is search for my name. Will you spell my name with me? B-L-I-P-P-I. Blippi. Good job. All right. See you again. Bye-bye. Hey, it's me, Blippi, and I was just making some sweet tunes with this bowl. And you like that? That's funny. But hey, today we're not gonna learn about tunes. We're gonna learn about, how to make clay. Yeah, look at it. Look at how many cool colors I have. Whoa, look. So much fun to play with. Whoa! And you can roll it up and make things with it. Look, I just made a baseball. Wow. All right, let's look at all the colors. We have orange, white, blue, purple, green, red, black, and light blue. Whoa! And today, you and I are gonna make some of this. Yeah, and this recipe you can make at home with a grown-up. Yeah, and then after you make it, you can squish it nice and flat, and then you take some of these and then you can cut it out. Whoa! And maybe we can spell some words together. Maybe we can make an airplane together. Whoa! This is gonna be so much fun. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is have all the ingredients for this clay. Yeah, here we go. And I have my recipe right here. First, we need a bowl. And what I would do if I was you, I would probably have a grown-up help you because this can get really messy and there's a lot of ingredients. Yeah, all right. So first, we need to start with 1 cup of flour. Whoa. Okay, let's open this up. There we go. And it doesn't need to be exact. Yeah, that is 1 cup of flour. Here we go. Wow. Wow. That is a great base for the clay we're making. Okay, all right. Let's see. 1/4 cup of salt. All right, it is definitely already getting really messy. Okay, 1/4 cup. And then we need to grab some salt. Here we go. Perfect. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Whoa! Perfect. All right. Okay, let me zip this back up. Yeah. And then we need 1 teaspoon of cream of tartar. What a silly name! That's so funny. Cream of tartar. 1 teaspoon. Oh, there's so many. Okay, here we go. Here's 1. Here we go. And we're gonna mix all this up in a little bit. But for now, let's pour all the ingredients in here. Then we have a tablespoon of oil. Okay, whoa. This is where it might get a little messy. Okay. Perfect. All right, put the lid back on just so it does not spill. That would be bad news berry. Okay, and then we have a 1/2 cup of H2O. Do you know what H2O stands for? Yeah! Water. I love water. All right, 1/2 cup. Perfect. All right. Oh, hey, look. I forgot to close up the flour. We should probably do that. All right, let's push all that stuff to the side because now we're ready to mix it up. But what we need to do is put in some color. And you can make any color you want. But what we're gonna do, although we already have a green color, I think we should make another green. But this one will be a little bit lighter. So let's open this up, add some green. I don't know how much to add, but that seems like quite a bit. And then also I'm gonna add a little bit of yellow. Yeah, it's gonna make it more of a bright green. Let's close that up. Whoa, that was a fun recipe to make. But now, I gotta mix it up. Whoa, it's looking so good. Wow. You see it? Whoa. All right, let me keep mixing it up. Whoa, yeah, we did it. Wow, check it out. Wow. Whoa, homemade clay. Wow, what a pretty green color we made. Good job. I wonder what color you're gonna make at home for your first color. So now what you can do with this, it's so much fun. You can actually smash it flat. Watch this trick. Where'd it go? Oh, that's silly. Okay, let's peel it off. Wow, perfect. And then, now you can use these. Yeah, they're like cookie cutters, but these are definitely not cookies that we're making. I would not eat this, okay? All right, okay. Yeah, remember that airplane? Whoa! Yeah, check it out. Okay, now you push it down. Whoa, look. Cut an airplane out. But first, let's push it out of here. Wow. Yeah, we did such a good job. Whoa! Wow. Okay, I'll put that airplane right there. Now, let's bring all the colors that we have out. And then, let's see what we can make together. Okay, so let's put that green back. And we have the airplane right there. What else? Oh, we have some letters. We have, ooh, a dog. Woof, woof. Will you act like a dog with me? Ready? Woof, 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 woof. Wow, dogs are so cute. Okay, let's make a blue dog. That sounds pretty silly, doesn't it? Okay, you know what to do. Smash out your clay nice and flat. Oh, okay, there we go. All right, push it down. All right. Whoa, look at that. Whoa, pull the sides away. Wow, and now, oh, that's silly. Look, what is that?
Yeah, it's a little poochie. Woof, 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 woof.
Whoa! Okay, we'll save you. We'll put you right there. Perfect. All right. One pooch and one airplane. Huh, perfect. Oh, hey, I think we have some letters over here. We can spell something out. Okay, looks like we have a B, a P, an I, an L. Huh, a B, a P, an I, and an L. What word can you think that uses those letters? A B, a P, an I, and an L. I know! Yeah, my name! Blippi! Yeah, we can actually spell my whole name out just with these 4 letters. See, we would go like this. We would use a B, an L, an I. We would do 2 P's, and then we would use another I. Perfect. All right, let's do that. All right, first we need some colors. So let's use this blue color. Yeah, there we go. Let's do a B right there. Perfect. Whoa, this is gonna be so cool. Yeah, and if you use some of this at home, maybe you could spell your name. Okay, let's use some purple. All right, so we got a blue B right here. Yeah. Whoa. Okay, and then we have an L. All right, nice little L right there. Yeah. So a B, L, then we need an I. How does that look? Yeah. Whoa. Okay. B, L, I. Yeah. B, L, I. What's the next letter? Yeah, P. And there's 2 of them. Let's use one of my favorite 2 colors. Yeah, the color orange. B-L-I, P. We need another P. We'll use the color black. This is so much fun. And it feels so cool on my hands. Ooh, another P. Yeah. So we got, here we go. We got B-L-I-P-P. What's the next letter? B-L-I-P-P. Yeah, I. And let's use this bright red color. All right, here we go. B-L-I-P-P-I. Here we go. Oh, how does that look? B-L-I-P-P-I. Yeah, good job. All right. Okay, let's put these down here with the dog and the airplane. There we go. All right. Now, let's make one more thing. Hey, well, since we have all these stencils and these cookie cutters, Yeah, you could actually use a lot of them. You can make a star. You can make a heart. You could make, ooh, a butterfly. Yeah. Or you could use some other tools. Yeah, like this spoon or this fork. And see, look at this. See, you can use the fork and, yeah, act like you're in the garden. Yep, gotta make the soil nice and soft so then you can plant some plants. Wow. But I'm definitely making a mess with all these small pieces, so look at this. This is a cool trick that I learned. See, you can actually pick up a lot of the pieces by smashing it. Yeah, it's kind of fun, huh? Okay, but watch this. Hey, we haven't used this color green yet. So, if you take the spoon and you scoop it, although it's a half of a circle, but you go all the way around, you actually might be able to scoop a full circle. Okay, let's try it. Ready? Yeah, look. There we go. Whoa, look. It's like a circle. Wow. And then you can put it in your hands, roll it around. Yeah, look. It's like a basketball. Oh, that was silly. Well, this has been so much fun making this clay with you. Did you have fun making clay with me? Yeah, and it was really fun. Yeah, using those cookie cutters to cut out some of the clay into an airplane. Yeah. A doggy. Woof, 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 woof. And my name, Blippi. Well, this is the end of this video, but if you want to watch more of my videos, all you have to do is search for my name. Will you spell my name with me? Ready? B L I P P I. Blippi. All right. Thank you so much for being my friend. See you soon. Bye-bye. Hello. Hey, it's me, Blippi. I'm just hanging out with all of these bubbles. Whoa. I sure do love bubbles. Do you? Yeah. Well, in this video, you and I are gonna meet someone really cool that knows a lot about bubbles. Are you ready? Let's go. Wow, that is so cool.
Thanks, Blippi.
Yeah. Wait, who are you?
Oh, well, I'm Megan the Bubbleologist.
Bubbleologist? What does that mean?
Well, I make all types of bubbles.
Oh, bubbles? I love bubbles. Like, will you show me one?
Sure, I can make big bubbles.
Wow, that is a big bubble.
I can also make small bubbles.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I'm so excited. Wow, look, those are small bubbles. Megan just made big bubbles and small bubbles. Wow, that is so cool. Can I try?
Of course.
Ooh, all right. What do I do?
Well, you can take any bubble wand that you want to use.
Okay, how about this one? Wow, this one is a big circle. Hello. All right, now what?
Well, you just stick it all the way into the bubble solution.
Okay.
And make sure it gets really wet.
Okay, here we go.
And then pull it out and wave it around.
Wow. That is awesome. My turn. 3, 2, 1. Whoa! It just popped. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Whoa! I did it again. This is awesome. Wow, that is a small bubble. Wow. I love making bubbles. It's so cool that all this equipment is so colorful. Oh, like this one. This is the color yellow, and green.
This one is red and blue.
Wow, that is so cool. I love colors.
Did you also notice that when we were making bubbles earlier, you can see all types of colors in the bubble?
Oh, yeah, I see it. It kind of looks like a rainbow. How does that work?
Exactly. Well, the light shines on the bubble and refracts, so then you see all the different colors of the rainbow.
Wow, I love rainbows. Do you know the colors of the rainbow?
I sure do. They are red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet.
Woohoo! Colors, rainbows, and bubbles. Whoa! Whee! This wand is a triangle.
This wand is a star.
This wand is a square.
This wand is a heart.
And this wand is a flower.
Did you notice that all the bubbles that we made were circle-shaped bubbles?
Really? Why is that?
Because no matter what shape you use, a bubble is always going to be a circle-shaped bubble, because a circle is the most efficient shape a bubble can make.
Oh, that makes sense now. That is so cool. But wait a second. Unless you use bubble magic, of course. Whoa, see you later. Bye-bye. Whoa! Whee! Wow.
Hey, I have a special bubble for you.
Really? What do you mean by special?
Well, I can make an insect bubble.
Wow, really? What kind of insect?
I'll give you a couple of hints.
Okay, I'm ready.
Let's see, it likes to crawl on the ground.
Okay.
It likes to eat vegetables.
I love vegetables.
Also, it goes through a metamorphosis later in life.
Metamorphosis? I know what insect that is. Yeah, that is a caterpillar.
You got it, Blippi.
Okay, let's see this bubble.
All right, well first, I need my blue circle wand and my yellow straw.
Wow,
Whoop.
perfect. Wow. So it looks like you're putting one circle bubble on top of the other circle bubble.
That's right.
Another circle bubble. So we have 3 circle bubbles connected right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow. And another one. 4 circle bubbles now. That's cool. Wow, I think caterpillars are really cool because they go through metamorphosis. Hey, I saw what insect it turns into. Yeah, after metamorphosis, they turn into butterflies. Here we go. Woohoo! Butterfly bubbles! Caterpillar bubbles! Woohoo! Whee! Whoa, check it out. It's a cloud bubble. Can I pop it?
Of course.
Here we go. Whoa. I love popping bubbles. Whee! Wow! Woohoo! Yeah! Whoa! That's a big bubble! Whoa! Whoa! So we have learned a lot about bubbles today. We learned about the colors of the wand, the colors of the bubbles themselves, shapes of the wand. We even learned about how some can be big and some can be really small. But you can't forget about those cute little insects. But what's this?
Well, I have a really big bubble wand for you.
Whoa, I love big bubbles. What do you do?
Well, it's a surprise.
Okay, I love surprises.
But first, I need you to step right in the middle of it.
Okay.
Now close your eyes.
All right.
Now open them.
Whoa, look at it. I'm inside a bubble. Whoa, this is awesome. Can we do that again, please?
Of course.
All right, here we go. Whoa, I'm swimming in a bubble. Whee! Yeah! Wow, what is that?
Well, this is the rainbow ball.
Wow, a rainbow ball? Let's see how it works.
All right, so first you open it up,
Whoa!
and then you spin around.
Whoa! It makes so many bubbles. And I bet you call it a rainbow ball because it has a lot of colors, huh?
That's right.
Well, thank you so much for teaching us about bubbles today, Megan.
Well, thank you, Blippi, for having me.
Awesome. Well, see you later.
Bye.
Whoa! Ooh. I'm dancing like a bubble. Whoa! That was so much fun learning about bubbles with you and shapes and colors, sizes, and insects. Well, this is the end of this video, but if you want to watch more of my videos, all you have to do is search for my name. Will you spell my name with me? Blippi. Blippi. Good job. All right, see you later.